Hello, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel. This is the weekly angel card reading for the week beginning October the 30th to November the 5th, 2017. So I just want to start by addressing a question I got given this week, which was, how come sometimes the cards really resonate with me and other times they just don't, and I don't understand what they mean. So if a card doesn't resonate with you, there's a couple of things that could be going on there. One is maybe it's just not meant for you. Maybe it's meant for someone you know, or maybe it's just meant to sit in the back of your mind and later on it will be meaningful for you. I know these cards are directed to a particular day, but the fact is people see them in different time zones that might not even be that day yet, but it's still meaningful for them. And sometimes the card is just flagging something in your brain that will relate to you later on. So it's like an FYI for later on type of thing. I know that sounds vague, but the fact is these messages are speaking to such a wide group of people that I have to be really vague with this, because it's up to you to trust your intuition on what the messages are saying to you. So the other thing is that by the time when you're watching this video, by the time you see the card, your circumstances may have changed and there'll be a different meaning in there for you. And sometimes the cards, if they don't relate to you, it's just there to be reassuring, to let you know the angels are talking to you, they're there, and to remind you that you've got the opportunity to speak to them to help you get a better relationship in terms of you manifesting what you want from your life. So if things aren't going well in your life, sometimes even just seeing a card can be like, oh hey, I need to try and adjust the way I think about this situation so that I can, and to ask for help from the angels as well, because remember, the angels can't help you unless you ask for their help, because you have free will. You're the one in charge of your life. So hopefully that helps you with the question of what do I do with this information if it doesn't actually speak to me. The important thing is not to overthink it too much. I have had cases where someone has said to me, that card doesn't mean anything to me, but that particular flower on it does. That's a symbol to me. Or you know, the particular wording of the card that relates to something that is going on elsewhere in my life. So you've got to be open-minded with this, and as always, trust your intuition. My whole aim with this is to teach people to foster a better relationship with their intuition so they can follow their own guidance. I don't want to be spoon-feeding anyone, because I want to empower you. You've all got the ability to lead your own lives in really strong ways. You just need to learn better ways to work with the tools you've got, your angel squad, so that you can really make better choices. Ooh. I don't know if you saw that. Maybe I was holding the cards a bit low, but I literally just picked up a bunch to start shuffling and it went right across the room. So I'm just going to pick that one up. That was really weird, and I don't normally get them come up quite so strongly initially anyway. Mother, okay, this is a powerful card, and we had this recently, because of course the angels repeat themselves when they feel we're not listening. So if you're watching this and you're a mum, please know you're a great mum. You're doing a great job. I know it's normal to question that. It's a hard gig from what I understand. I'm not a mum, but the parents in my life, I absolutely salute them, because it sounds like every day there's another reason to doubt whether you're doing a good job, but you are. Now, if you want to be a mother, there's a very strong energy encouraging you that is going to happen for you. So please don't lose hope. The minute we lose hope, we stop sending out the right messages and we focus on the worst case scenario. If you focus on the worst case scenario, you're blocking the flow of attracting good energy into your life, and you're really letting the universe know that you don't really want that. Energy goes where attention, energy flows where attention goes. There you go. You'll get it in the end. Now, if that doesn't fit into any category for you, you're not a mum, you're not looking to be, I would suggest that you also, it might be to do with your relationship with your own mother. If there's any issues there, maybe you could speak to her, spend more time with her, do any healing around that you need to do within yourself without reaching out. Or it might just be letting you know that you've got an ability to work with children in some sense, and not literally, you have to go and get a job in childcare or anything like that, but more like the kids that are around you right now. Maybe you can take more of a role in terms of being a mentor or a leader for them. So I'm going to work Tuesday, 31st, Halloween, if you believe in that sort of thing, or even if you don't but think it's a bit of fun. Here in Australia, it's starting to get a bit bigger, but certainly it's not really a massive deal. Oh, goodness. Sarasvati, the arts. I don't think this has come up for quite a while actually. It's about creativity. Now, before you go telling me that you're not actually creative, I'd like to challenge that. Everybody has some creative ability, and I try to take this message wider, because it's not about being good at something. It's not about doing something that feels innate or natural to you. It's just about doing something that's fun. So to give you an example, I've signed up for evening classes in learning how to sketch. I'm not good. I don't care. It doesn't matter. The challenging thing for me has been showing up to those classes and just doing what? Just not holding on to the results, just going with the process and doing it for the enjoyment, losing myself in that moment, because it's about being present. And I do feel a connection with the my intuition much more strongly when I'm doing that, because my brain is on holiday. My brain's not involved. It's just letting that energy flow. I know it sounds a bit out there, but honestly, being creative is a really cool kind of magic where things happen that you didn't know were possible. And again, it's not about being good. It's just about that process of letting your brain bugger off and letting the energy flow and just seeing what happens. It's quite incredible, really. So if you don't have a creative activity in your life, I'd really encourage you to try something, ideally regularly. But if you, they're saying some of you, I don't know if it's music related, it could be music for some of you. They're saying some of you are getting opportunities to progress with what you're doing and to get more exposure for what you're doing, and you keep turning it down because you're scared. You know, that's a human response. We all struggle with fear in some way, but they're really urging you not to let that happen. Really just commit to it and see what happens. Push the boat out. So is there anything else I need to tell you of that? I don't think so. I think it's just about doing something to channel that creative energy. It's as important as meditating. You don't have to do it every day. I encourage people to meditate every day, but in terms of creativity, it's just something you need to do regularly. And again, it really doesn't matter what it is or what you are trying to get from it. In fact, I'd encourage you not to try and get anything from it, just to do it. It seems a bit self-indulgent sometimes, and maybe if you're a parent, you might feel like a bit guilty about doing something like that, because you think, what's the point? It's not getting me further on my ticking off items on my to-do list, but actually it will make you more productive in the long run, because once you've given your mind that holiday for a while, you actually come back sharper. Not unlike meditation. Okay, maybe this is not right. I'm not getting too far with this. Okay. I'm going with this one now. I try and prepare these decks in order of how I think they should go, but sometimes when I actually go to shuffle them, the angels say, Okay, Merlina, this is about making decisions, and it's encouraging you to get more information. Don't be spontaneous. Really do some research. Ask people's opinions. Obviously, don't be bound to people's opinions, but they may share some insights that you hadn't considered. And it's not necessarily making a decision. It might just be about something that you're coming up, maybe like a crossroads or something looming on the horizon where you're going to need to have more information before you decide what you're going to do and how you take that. So do more research. Actually, they are emphasising there with that, really don't be bound by what other people think. So when I say ask other people, I don't mean ask them what they think. I'm saying ask them what, you know, if they've had experience with whatever you're dealing with, or they can point you in the right direction of someone who might. Yeah, it's not really asking for their opinions, it's asking for their guidance, I guess, would be the best way to put it. No, I'm not allowed to do that deck. I'm going to go with this one. It's all over the shop today, isn't it? Oh. Compassion, beautiful. Never not needing this one. Soften your heart with respect to the situation with all the people involved. We actually had this quite strongly last week. Messages about having compassion towards yourself, forgiving yourself for the choices that you've made where things haven't panned out as you'd hoped, and yeah, about that self-forgiveness type thing, and forgiving yourself also for and knowing that you did the best you could with the information you had at that time, because the whole point of growing up is that we only know what we know when we need to know it, and we can't go backwards. And this also extends to other people, so not just self-compassion, but compassion for those around you. Now, sometimes I take this message quite generally, but in this case, it's really about the people around you. It's not compassion for humankind overall. So some of you are clashing with someone potentially in the workplace, and it's asking you to have some compassion for them, because even though they're acting in ways that you don't condone, or you wouldn't, exhibiting behaviour that you wouldn't exhibit yourself, just try to understand that everybody's doing the best they can here, and try to understand where they're coming from. It might not make it right, but it will help you to understand what's driving them and what may be contributing to their decisions. So obviously, I always say with these kind of messages, you do not have to put up with bad behaviour, and definitely don't put up with bad behaviour if it's threatening to your well-being or your health. But in saying that, trying to understand what's driving people who are making decisions around you that are causing you grief, it's helpful for your own peace. Sometimes that's all we can do, is make peace with the situation. Friday. Oh my goodness, here we go. It took quite a while to go. God is in charge. Now, some of you who struggle with religion, I certainly fit into that category. Swap out the word God for the universe. It's all the same. I use words interchangeably, such as God, universe, creator, source. It doesn't matter. It's just about that higher power, and it's letting you know that there is a divine order in place. So the situation that you're wrestling with right now, whatever you're stressing about, there is a solution already in place. You just can't see it yet. I talk about this all the time. We can only ever see this much of the puzzle, but the universe shows us, well, doesn't show us, but is privy to this much, and that's how the universe knows that everything's going to be okay, even though you can't see that just yet. So the best thing you can do is get out of your own way. Make sure you're not blocking that solution by worrying about it. Worry is a negative energy. It creates barriers, and it stops us from, not only does it make us unhappy and affects our energy and increases the burden on us, it actually blocks our ability to open up to solutions, to recognize, to communicate with our intuition better and really understand what that solution is. So we want to just let it out, let it go, leave it out of our hands. So there's this thing that you can do, particularly if you have trouble sleeping. It's called the God box. I do this too. Imagine an angel in front of you holding a box, and you just unload each of your problems into the box one at a time. So, and then you visualize the angel taking it up to heaven to transmute it. That way you're not carrying the burden anymore. And it's like a really visual way of imagining yourself giving away those problems and lessening that burden on yourself, so that it's taken care of by the universe. It's no longer your problem. So this is reminding you that basically everything is going to be okay. You just can't see it yet. So please have faith and understand that even though things seem in disarray now, that might be because they need to fall apart so something better can build. And it might also be that things are falling apart when really they're falling back into place. It's just that right now all you can see is the chaos. So I'll try this one now because it was rejected earlier. No. This looks like Saturday apparently. Okay. Past life issue. Whoa, this is heavy. Oh, there's one behind. Okay. That one was vacuum wide fear, and I think that's like a secondary message to the larger issue here. So we're talking about the fears we're facing, and this is telling us it comes from something in the past. Now, I know not everybody is on board with reincarnation. I get that. So if that's you, think this could well be a past experience in your current lifetime. So something that's happened in your childhood. So think about the situation you're facing right now that's worrying you most, and particularly if it's a pattern. you keep attracting the same type of partner, or you keep attracting jobs that are taken away from you suddenly, or whatever it is. And really look at where that stems from. Is it coming from a belief that perhaps you don't deserve happiness, or something that's been said in your childhood to plant that seed? Perhaps there's it could be that something happened in your past life that relates to this, not necessarily the situation, but the energy around it. I know that sounds a little vague, but it's something like if you have problems in romance in terms of being vulnerable, it could be that in a past life you've had some sort of experience where you were vulnerable and you perhaps lost your life for it, or something bad happened to you, you're punished for it. This stuff is quite heavy, and I don't really want to go into that here because I know not everybody's on board with it, and you don't need to be. All this is asking you to do is look back. When did this first start happening? What was the belief behind this sort of stuff, and how does that reflect the way you grew up? And in relationships, I know I keep coming back to this, but relationships are the sorts of questions that come up most frequently in my clients. So I know that my energy attracts, because that's a thing I've struggled with myself. My energy tends to attract people who also struggle with relationships. That's why I talk about that a lot. It's my interest area. In terms of relationships, the way we relate to other people is to do with our stuff. So we do attract people who often mirror what we're going through, or who match where our limitations are, or our secret beliefs that are going on, playing out in the background, and therefore contributing to the experiences we attract. So it's really just asking you to look back in the past and find out, because in relationships, the first relationship that was role modeled to you was that of your parents. Was there something, does this match something to do with that primary relationship and how the way it was modeled to you? Perhaps it was an unhealthy relationship and you've responded by clinging on to another relationship so that your relationship didn't end up like theirs, or there could be all number of things going on here. So I'm just going to move on now, but what I want you to take from this is, how does this relate to my past? And if you can't find an answer, but you suspect it is in a past lifetime because it feels really intense, I'd encourage you to do some reading up by Dr. Brian Weiss, who's really like the past life expert, past life regression expert, and he is such a smart man. A lot of our fears come from the past lives and things, and he was a total skeptic before this stuff was sort of became apparent to him and he could no longer ignore it. So he brings very much, because he was a counsellor, a psychologist, he brings his experience in the mainstream in Western medicine into his viewpoint. He also has a very calming manner. We all need that. So I think I've got this card deck has finally been accepted for Sunday. Never had, I don't think, a reading where I've kind of got the cards out of, or the decks have been rearranged on me quite so frequently as this. Keeps life interesting, I guess, because the whole challenge of, speaking to people and concentrating on the messages I'm getting wasn't enough of a challenge. They like to keep me on my toes. Okay. Dreams. I'm getting this message a lot in readings I've been doing for clients lately, actually. So the dreams, look, I know a lot of dreams for myself and for you also are just silly. They are. And maybe that's because you ate cheese before you went to sleep, or who knows. There's also all sorts of things going on. Sometimes we just have random dreams because we work too hard, and then in our dreams we're still at the office. But occasionally we get dreams that are really significant, and that is a key way that the universe communicates to us via our subconscious, because our conscious brain is literally asleep, and so it's an easy way to get through. So the way to know the difference between those random weirdo dreams and the meaningful ones is to trust your intuition. You just get a sense when you wake up that there was something in that. So a couple of things: look for symbols. The example I always give is, if you dream you're pregnant, it's a sign that there's something new coming up for you. A new, not literally a new life, but like a new beginning, a new chapter, a new project, anything like that. And the same with death, something coming to an end. I went for a phase where I was dreaming about snakes a lot, and snakes symbolize something sinister or somebody potentially double crossing you. And it didn't mean that I was about to meet someone or that someone in my life was about to betray me. It just meant I was worried that was going to happen. It was to do with my trust issues in my relationships. Anyway, that's one example. So there's so much information online. Let's do a Google. There's lots of spiritual writers who give really great information on the symbols going on in dreams. Look for patterns, particularly if it's recurring. I've got a major recurring dream for me that I've been having since my 20s, and so it's only in the last probably 6 months that I've finally figured out what it meant. And it was, funnily enough, related to a past life issue that was coming up in this lifetime as well. Yes, to do with relationships. Now, what else I need to tell you about this? You can keep a notebook by your bed. I know people do that to record the dreams, because you know how it goes. You get on with your day and you forget. So that will help keep it fresh in your mind, and you can also look for symbols there. Yeah, so that's pretty straightforward message. One thing you can do as well before you go to bed is to ask the angels to give you a message in your dreams. They won't always do it. I've done this before and asked for information and got nothing, but you know, it's worth a try. Sometimes that's a good way for them to reach you, and they'll tell you something that you can use. So looking at the week, we've got this message about motherhood and working with kids, creativity, getting more information and doing research, having compassion for other people, trusting the universe, past life and dreams. Look, it's just such a mixed bag. I think maybe the message or the main theme would be around healing. There's healing of some past stuff here, and understanding our dreams, working with our lack of faith. But really, it's a lot of different stuff going on here, so I don't feel like I can give any overriding thing. But that's okay, that's just how it happens. I'll put these on my Instagram at OneGroundedAngel. My Facebook page is OneGroundedAngel. If you'd like to book a personal reading, sometimes that's the best way to get clarity, because as I said at the top of this recording, these aren't necessarily general. You can book a personal reading on my website, which has just been redesigned. It looks so much better. www.onegroundedangel.com. There is a bookings tab you'll find. And don't forget to tell me where you live so I can give you a quote in your currency. I do readings via Skype and email all around the world. And that's all I need to tell you. Is there anything else? No, I think that's it. Thank you very much for your love and support. I'll put these cards up on social media, but don't forget to give me feedback if you're struggling with the messages. I can help to a degree, but if you need more personal information, you would need to book a reading. But I just love the feedback I get from you guys. It's wonderful to hear how the cards help you. So thank you very much for that, and take care.